a kind. For your information, we're two of a kind.
Two of a kind. It's my observation, we're two of a kind.
Like peas in a pod,
and birds of a feather, alone or together, you'll find that we are two of a kind.
Two of a kind? We certainly hope so. Two of a Buckeye kind. Welcome to the Bucknuts Morning 5. It's Wednesday, July 2nd. I am Dan Rubin, joined today by Bucknuts recruiting guru extraordinaire Bill Kurelic. And Bill, today is the day. Justin Hilliard from St. X, Jashon Cornell from Minnesota making their announcement here. We expect this to be one of the least listened to BM5 podcasts ever because it should be in the carousel, we hope, on the front page for only a couple hours here. Give us an understanding right now of what Hilliard's announcement is going to be like and then maybe Cornell, just mechanically.
Well, I think you're right when you say this could be the least listened to show. I've been covering high state recruiting for a long time, and other than national signing days, I'm not sure I've had a more anticipated day than today with Justin Hilliard and Jashon Cornell announcing simultaneously today. That doesn't happen often either. Two five-star guys, highly considering Ohio State, announcing simultaneously. So I think it's just a tremendously anticipated day. And Hilliard will be announcing his decision at 10 a.m. this morning, and he'll do it from his high school, St. Xavier High School in Cincinnati. And simultaneously, in the state of Minnesota, Jashon Cornell also will be announcing. They've become friends. They would like to play together in college. They worked this all out, and Buckeye Nation is certainly hoping that it's going to be a five-star day simultaneously at 10 o'clock this morning.
Well, I'm certainly hoping that, given that I work for Bucknuts, and the Internet will melt and probably crash the site if it doesn't work out. But all the intel we've gotten leading up to this point, all the crystal ball predictions leading up to this point are telling us that Cornell and Hilliard will be Buckeyes. As I sit here and talk to you at, let me look at the clock, 7:49 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, what is your vibe on both?
Well, I've crystal balled both of them to Ohio State. I've had those crystal ball predictions in for a bit now, and I'm not wavering one bit. I will be surprised, certainly, if they're not both Buckeyes. I've gotten to know Justin Hilliard very well, really, through the recruiting process, and gotten to know his dad, and just, from all my conversations with him, I've over time just felt like he's gravitated more and more towards Ohio State. At the same time, early on, I had my doubts as to whether Jashon Cornell would be a Buckeye, but as things have progressed, I've slowly and more had the feel that, yes, he is going to be a Buckeye. And then when you put that together, that they would like to play at the same school, they become friends, I just think it looks very, very good for Ohio State.
Given that, Bill, when did this change? I know that there was some discussion early on with Hilliard going to Iowa possibly because his older brother will be a freshman there. Notre Dame was mentioned as a serious contender for Hilliard and still is now as we go down the stretch. Cornell, one who kind of came out of nowhere. I knew the Buckeyes were interested in. We all knew the Buckeyes were interested. But it seems like, and forgive me if I'm wrong, it seems like that one camp in Columbus that you covered last month or recently was really when the dominoes fell in Ohio State's favor. Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, I think to some extent. Now, with Justin Hilliard, I think things really started to change quite some time back even farther than that. If you remember, Ohio State was not the first to offer him a scholarship. In fact, there were a number of schools that offered him a scholarship before Ohio State did. But Luke Fickell met with Justin Hilliard, and that really changed, everything when Luke Hill.
So hold on a second. You're giving Luke Fickell credit?
Yeah, he certainly deserves.
Okay, I want to note that for the podcast. This first podcast Luke Fickell's ever gotten credit for anything, so I just wanted to make sure we noted that. Go ahead.
Yeah, he really has played a big part in this. He was the one I really feel like turned the tables for Ohio State. Luke Fickell, got the meeting going. Urban Meyer was involved, and the two of them really convinced Justin Hilliard just how highly they thought of him and how much they wanted him to be a Buckeye. So I think things turned for Justin Hilliard at that point. Now, as far as Cornell goes, I think a lot of his turning point, so to speak, was when he was at Ohio State and everything went so well, and he just, really fell in love with the place. And then you put the two of them together, becoming friends and all, and everything is now really has been pointing to them being Buckeyes.
Okay, Bill, last little tidbit here before we sign off. Let's say they do get commitments from Cornell and Hilliard. Put that in context in terms of a day in Buckeye recruiting history.
Well, as far as the class of 2015, I think it takes the class to a new level. Hilliard is going to go out, providing he is a Buckeye, of course, and recruit for Ohio State. I think you'll see more dominoes eventually fall. Cornell will be huge also. And, when you look at it historically, as I mentioned, I don't think I can remember a more anticipated day other than National Signing Day since I've started doing this, which, again, that's, 27, 28 years. Two guys of this magnitude picking Ohio State simultaneously, other than a National Signing Day, I'm not sure I can remember a bigger day for Ohio State recruiting. And, what makes it even better for Ohio State, again, providing it happens, and I do expect it to happen, but if it does happen, what makes it even better is that everybody knows where Ohio State struggled was on the defensive side of the ball last year. And these two guys are absolute difference makers, impact guys on the defensive side of the ball. And they're guys that are going to be they're the kind of guys that Urban Meyer has to get if he's going to win a national championship. These are the kind of guys Alabama wants, Florida State wants, and so on. And if you're going to beat those teams, you got to beat them on the recruiting front for the guys they want.
Seems like a perfect place to end it. Keep it locked here, Bucknutters. Should be a tremendous day on the site. We will have more coverage than anyone, anywhere. We'll be on site for the Hilliard announcement, and we will have it covered completely. Let's have a great day, Bucknutters.
It takes two to make a thing go right.